and politicians to embrace peace, unity of purpose. Anambra Governor's wife, Mrs. Soludo, urges people affected by flood to hold on to hope. President Buhari commissions Pinnacle's petroleum uptake facility, Lekki. Russia airstrikes target power facilities in Ukraine. Before the news in detail, here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround the maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. Good morning. Welcome to the Breakfast News on ABS Television. I am Priska Mwanko. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has harped on the need for people to live a life of peace and love. Governor Soludo made the emphasis at St. Teresa's Catholic Church in Ugwuku, Njikoka Council area during the funeral service of late Boniface Nwankwo. Government House correspondent Valentine Badoha filed in this report.
Late Boniface Nwankwo was the father of Honorable Dozie Nwankwo, the representative of Njikok and Dunukofia Federal Constituency at the National Assembly. Addressing the congregation, Governor Soludo remarked that death is a necessary end for all and stressed the need for people to live a life of purpose and uprightness. Governor Soludo said that the patriarch is a man of peace and called on politicians to be peaceful in their dealings as Anambra is a peace-loving state. He urged the family to take solace in the fact that their father lived a fulfilled life and advised them to emulate his legacy.
We must emulate what you do. That should be the message. Because that's no politicians all over this place. What you do is the spirit of
Wife of the President, Aisha Buhari, joined the mass through Zoom, while the former Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, wife of the Anambra State Governor, Mrs. Nonye Soludo, immediate past Senator representing Anambra Central Senatorial District, Senator Vic Tume, among others, were present at the burial mass, presided over by the Catholic Bishop of Awka Diocese, Most Reverend Paulinus Ezokafo.
Wife of the governor of Anambra State, Mrs. Nonye Soludo, has urged those displaced by flood and taking shelter holding predicaments defeated the people taking shelter at Unity Hall in Wari.
Officers within 5 days constitute and forward immediately names of not more than Assembly Service Commission to Governor Soludo, explaining the motion of the laws would encourage checks and balances within the three arms of government.
All of us. Because I know that every day is still a lot of fights. Many fights has become unstable in hundreds. If I were to say, I would say that maybe it escaped his mind to implement all those laws. So I'm standing up here today just to beg the whole house for me to remind our executive governor. He is a legislative and friendly governor to help us to implement those laws which have been signed.
Virtually all members of the House that attended the plenary spoke in favor of the motion, while Speaker of the House, Right Honorable Uche Okafor, read out the resolution which was supported by the lawmakers through voice vote.
Calling on the Governor of Anambra State, His Excellency Professor C.C. Soludo, to, as a matter of urgency, implement the already existing laws of the state as it relates to the autonomy of the judiciary and the legislative arm of the government. The Anambra State Assembly urges the Governor of Anambra State, Professor C.C. Soludo, to within the next 2 weeks set up the State Account Allocation Committee. Those in support say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Also at the plenary, the House passed another resolution urging Governor Soludo to call for an action to redirect the flood entering Okpoko from Upper Iweka and Awada Obosi to River Niger and Idemili River, respectively. The House passed the resolution following a motion of urgent public importance sponsored to that effect by the member representing Obaruwon constituency, Honorable Nobu Igwe. The lawmaker lamented that the magnitude of flood surging into Okpoko from those areas caused a lot of damage to properties and even loss of lives, and has resulted in dumping of garbage into Okpoko, thereby constituting environmental hazard and spread of diseases, adding that this menace could be stopped through proper desilting of the affected drainage channels.
Once it rains, the entire flood from Awada Obosi and part of Opiweka and Fege in Onitsha South empties into Okpoko, destroying the natural setting of the environment. They dump a lot of garbage into the environment. We've lost lots of life to flooding. Once it rains, the entire place becomes submerged. We can't drive.
From the State House of Assembly, it's been Chukwuemeka Modelim, ABS News.
To support the efforts of the Anambra State government in alleviating the plight of flood-affected persons, the International Breweries PLC have presented food items worth about 5 million naira to flood-affected persons in the Waro local government area. The items were received by the local government chairman, Mr. Pascal Anyebune, at one of the internally displaced persons camp, housing over 200 persons. Correspondent Faith Onyemuche filed in this report.
Also present at the camp were the flood committee chairman of Obaru local government area, Mr. Ben Wansike, members of State Emergency Management Agency, some of the community stakeholders, Sir Somto Udeze and Noble Igwe, among others. Presenting the items, the plant manager, International Breweries PLC Onitsha plant, Mr. Fidelis Igwe, stated that the relief material is a way of reciprocating the friendly accommodation from the area within the past years, adding that they will ensure that the materials are among the affected persons.
We understand the situation that the community is going through, and as the host community of our company, so we have decided to come and support in our own little way. So we are handing over this little gift from International Breweries to the committee chairman for the flood. So wants to believe that this will help the community people to recover from this devastation. We understand that this will not be enough, but this is what we are using to support, and we pray that the flood situation comes down and the people can return to their normal life.
Receiving the items, the Transition Committee Chairman of Obaru local government area, Mr. Anyebuna, appreciated the International Breweries PLC for the show of love in this critical time.
Anambra State government created golden camps. And government has been feeding them, provided shelter, clothing, beddings, and food for them. So these things that International Brewery brought has actually get to people it was meant for.
Speaking to the ABS in an interview, the Corporate Affairs Manager of the International Breweries PLC Onitsha, Mr. Damian Igwe, regretted the untold hardship experienced by the people as a result of the deluge which prompted their humanitarian visit to assist the people in their own capacity.
We are working closely with the chairman of the Flood Committee, the local government chairman as well, and of course you can see other reps who are here. The Anambra State Assembly representatives of Obaru 1 and 2 constituencies, all of them are here. And I'm sure it's their constituency. With all of these people, I think I can confidently say that these items will get to.
Some of the affected persons, Mrs. Patience Obidiegu and Ms. Chisom Enwetu, appreciated the International Breweries PLC for remembering them in their time of need and prayed for God's blessing on them. From Obaru, Faith Onyemuche, ABS News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has officially opened the Pinnacle Oil and Gas FZE terminal in Lekki, Lagos, stating that the facility's activities had lowered costs and improved the distribution of petroleum products in many areas of the nation, while also easing traffic in the Apapa area. The president will do the commissioning virtually in a video message at the inauguration of the facility, congratulated the Chief Executive Officer of Pinnacle Oil and Gas Limited, Peter Mba, for establishing the massive terminal facility and providing hundreds of jobs to Nigerians. The investment, according to the president, is proof that his administration's plan to rebuild the country's economy is working. According to a statement by the special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Femi Adesina, President Buhari reassured investors of the federal government's ongoing support for measures to increase the nation's burgeoning prosperity. The CEO of Pinnacle expressed confidence that the terminal with a capacity of more than 1 billion liters will live up to its promise by having a favorable effect on the downstream oil and gas industry. Airstrikes have hit critical infrastructures in central and western Ukraine as Russia continues to target the country's energy grid. Sites to the south and west of Kyiv have been struck and power cuts have been reported across the country. President Volodymyr Zelensky's chief of staff, Andrei Vermak, has said Russia is hoping to stop Ukraine's liberation of territories by striking targets behind the front lines. Ukrainian officials say many Russian cruise missiles have been intercepted by air defense system. Almost a third of the country's power stations have been destroyed in a wave of airstrikes since last week. The Ukrainian Energy Distribution Company said it will limit supply in several regions, including Kyiv. The government introduced restrictions on the use of power for the first time on Thursday. Russia is evacuating civilians from the areas under its control in expectation of a Ukrainian offensive to take the city. Holders and four-time champions, the United States will face the Netherlands in the group phase of next year's FIFA Women's World Cup, a repeat of the 2019 final. Led by veteran forward Rapido, the U.S. the top of the FIFA rankings and going for a third crown in a row, having beaten the Dutch 2-0 in the 2019 final. Germany, Sweden, France and Spain will also be sides to watch out for when the World Cup is staged at 10 stadiums in New Zealand and Australia from July 20 to August 20, 2023. The Philippines, Morocco, Republic of Ireland, Vietnam and Zambia will all be competing at the Women's World Cup for the first time. A play-up tournament in February will decide who takes the remaining 33 spots of the 32. Australia and New Zealand will host one semi-final each, with the August 20 final at the 83,000 capacity stadium, Australia in Sydney. Remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS in many parts of the world by liking our Facebook page. Follow us at ABS Radio Television, Orca. Subscribe to our YouTube page at youtube.com/ABS Television, Orca. On Instagram, ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website. It's www.absradiotv.com. To end the breakfast news this morning, a quick recap of the main points. Governor Soludo has called on politicians to embrace peace and unity of purpose. Anambra Governor's wife, Mrs. Soludo, has urged people affected by flood to hold on to hope. President Buhari has commissioned Pinnacle's petroleum uptake facility, Lekki. Russia airstrikes its targeted power facilities in Ukraine. Here is the special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has called for a total turnaround the maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. That ends the breakfast news at this time on ABS Television. Thanks for watching. I am Priska Wanko. Good morning and have a happy Sunday.